The Annapolis Valley is known for two contrasting things: excellent wine and the military. Located in one of the most beautiful parts of Atlantic Canada, the area often flies under the radar in the larger Atlantic scene, but there is a fierce local valley pride that is always present. As the league began expanding during the 80s, the local business community joined together to place a bid for a team of their own, and in 1995 the Annapolis Valley Thunderbirds joined the ABL. They quickly became champions in '99, and reached the finals again in 2017. They were in the process of a playoff push in 2020, but the pandemic hurt their finances, so the team is once again retooling for another push in the near future. Bridgewater, located on the beautiful south shore of Nova Scotia, has long been an economic and cultural hub for the area. The town's baseball team has a unique origin story. It began in the 1990s as a grassroots fundraiser to build an up-to-date baseball facility. Thanks to a $1 million injection of funds from the town's largest employer Michelin Tire, the park was upgraded to ABL standards, and the community-owned team joined the ABL in 2004. Since then, the team has played well. They were 2008 champions, and made 4 playoff appearances. The current team is centered around superstar second baseman Griffin Render, and a very young and exciting team. Sitting each side of the enormous Halifax Harbour, the cities of Dartmouth and Halifax are together the ABL's largest market, with a population of over 400,000. Dartmouth, sitting on the east side of the harbour, is the industrial heart of the region. The city is very blue-collar, and has a fierce rivalry with anything involving Halifax, especially in relation to sport. Dartmouth has been the more free-spending and successful of the two ABL clubs, appearing in the finals a record 12 times, and winning 6 championships. The 2022 team has one of the strongest pitching staffs in the ABL, featuring Billy Beasley, Mike Lee and Tony Stockley, and they're expected to be the division favorites this season. The city of Halifax, the largest in Atlantic Canada, is the cultural, economic and media hub of the entire Atlantic region. Unlike their industrial neighbors in Dartmouth, Halifax has a more cosmopolitan, big city feel, with a very diversified economy. Even so, there remains a very strong link to the sea, with a large shipbuilding industry, as well as the nation's largest naval base. Even with such a large market, the team has always run a modest budget, often to the frustration of Schooner fans. However, the 2022 version of the team is expected to be strong, with young fresh faces such as Luke Booth, Tommy Martin and J.D. Wills arriving and eager to make an impact. As the name implies, the town of New Glasgow, and Pictou County more broadly, is home to a large population of Scottish descent. The first ship to arrive in the 1770s, the Hector, has a replica that locals and tourists can visit. Historically, the area is known for its shipbuilding and railroad industries. The team is the only one in the league to be formed due to relocation. The Cumberland Classics, located in Amherst, went bankrupt in early 1993 after years of struggles, and the Sobeys Grocery Empire bought, renamed, and relocated the team for the 1994 season. The team has yet to taste much success, but their new GM Garland Donovan has been quietly putting together a contender, on one of the smallest budgets in the league. The town of Truro is nicknamed the hub of Nova Scotia for its central location. It had been the junction of several railway lines, which together linked the province in the 19th and 20th centuries. The town's railway history continues today, and is also known for having the easternmost railway station in North America. The first ABL game ever played was hosted by Truro, on June 3, 1977. Since the 80s, the team has not been able to replicate their early success. However, the team has seen a resurgence in attendance in the last few years, with popular superstar Chris Hillock on the team, and the extra funds could push them into contention again. Cape Breton is one of the most visited parts of Atlantic Canada, due to its unique blend of Irish, Scottish and French culture. It is one of the few places outside Scotland where some still speak Gaelic, and the Cape Breton Highlands National Park, for which the team is named, has breathtaking coastal scenery. The Highlanders were one of the original ABL teams, but their history has been spotty. In 2019, there was a complete management shakeup, which resulted in the team's first winning record in 14 years. However, the pandemic hit the team hard, and they still suffer from a chronic lack of funds. Lots of young talent is in the pipeline, but the team will have to turn things around if they want to retain their star pitcher Jay Swank beyond this season. Conception Bay and the surrounding area received its first European visits from the Portuguese over 500 years ago. Since then, everyone from explorers to fishermen to pirates have sailed in and out of that bay. Today, Conception Bay South is the second largest community in Newfoundland, and as the ABL became more and more popular in the neighboring capital city of St. John's, a second team was added to the metro area for Conception Bay in 2004. Despite being a little brother to the rival Reds, the Knights have put up a formidable challenge in their short existence in the league. They reached the finals last season, but the core of the team is beginning to age, so management will have to be vigilant if they want to remain at the top in coming seasons. Corner Brook is a favorite spot for those that love the wilderness and outdoor activities. Sitting a few miles from the Marble Mountain Ski Resort on the western coast of Newfoundland, the team was formed in 1988, which created a rival for the much larger Newfoundland Reds on the opposite coast in St. John's, which formed 4 years previously. The team quickly became competitive, and won their only title in 1990. In the 2000s, the team played well with stars Casey Conway and Teddy Sampson, but once they left, the team entered an 11-year playoff drought that continues today. Backed by third baseman Ben Mercier and a great pitching staff, the tide could turn for the Admirals in 2022. For most of the 20th century, the town of Gander was known as the crossroads of the world, for its strategic location as a refueling stop for large aircraft crossing the Atlantic Ocean. As the airport grew in size and importance, the town grew along with it. There was significant interest in an ABL team in the 1990s, as both teams in Newfoundland at the time were enjoying success. In 1999, Gander and their central Newfoundland rivals in Grand Falls-Windsor were added to the ABL. Despite the town's small size and modest finances, the team does relatively well. However, like most small market teams, the pandemic has placed the team in a rebuild, but the team has a solid core of players to build around. The town of Grand Falls-Windsor was formed at the beginning of the 20th century thanks primarily to the pulp and paper and railway industries. The town grew in size and importance through the decades, and today is a vibrant small town. Like much of Newfoundland, interest in baseball increased dramatically in the 90s. In 1996, businessman Todd Whalen submitted a bid for a team, complete with a new park, and 3 years later, the Grand Falls-Windsor Broncos joined the ABL. It hasn't been easy. It took 15 seasons to achieve a winning record, but in the 2010s, the Broncos have been one of the best-run teams in the league. With stars such as Chris Biter, John Lee and Tom Lind, the team regularly punches above its weight in the tough OL East Division. Newfoundland's capital city of St. John's, one of the oldest European settlements in the New World, has a fascinating history, as well as food, music and culture. As the closest city to Europe, it has been an important seaport for centuries. Due to its Irish and English influence, baseball wasn't widely played when visionary original owner Alistair Smith brought the Newfoundland Reds to the island in 1984. The team and the sport's popularity spread quickly, despite fans having to suffer through awful teams in the late 80s. By 1994, the team was a contender, and dominated the division for the next 2 decades, cementing the Reds as a perennial favorite. The team is rebuilding, but with their large budget, expect them to contend again soon.